Now, many of you know, especially if you've seen my Turtles Forever review, that I'm a big fan of the old '87 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon, but I cannot pretend that that show didn't have its fair share of moments of...
What? Huh? Why would they even...
What are you doing, Turtles? Stupidity. So let's take a look at the top 40... Yes, 40 dumbest moments from the '87 Turtles cartoon.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Heroes in a half shell. Turtle power.
Alright, for our first dumbest moment, let's go all the way back to the first episode. After almost getting their heads blown off by a crazy old woman, April decides the Turtles need to be slightly less conspicuous, so gets some disguises. And this is how Leonardo, usually the most level-headed and the leader of the group, tries to blend in.
Free card money? Got the card, Slim. Got the card, Slim.
Okay guys, I know this might expose us, but so worth it! Or does 3-card money just really set Leo off?
Free card money?
3-card money! From the first season all the way to the last, which is what makes this moment make the list.
Dreg's Batmen have limited brain power. Hypnotizing them should be easy. You cannot resist my brain power. Your mind is mine to control. You will do exactly as I say.
You had completely take over someone's mind hypnotism powers? This whole time? Never thought that'd be useful before now, huh? Yes, this is the first and last time Krang does this. In the 10th season. Wow. Leonardo's sudden obsession for an episode was the Four Musketeers, so naturally after getting hit in the back of the head by Rocksteady, he awakens to proclaim April the Queen.
If she's a queen, then who are we?
You are my friends. Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, of course.
And I guess this was one of those days where Splinter thought he should make another funny and tells the Turtles you gotta humor them so they get stuck being idiots. I mean the Four Musketurtles. Endangering people by using a fighting style they aren't used to while humoring the delusion of someone with head trauma. This also makes them heroes so brave they can't even duck a ladder.
We mustn't lose them. They must know where the diamond is. This way.
It's an animal warehouse. Do I need to explain the dumb there? Sure, sometimes there are larger kennels or pounds to hold larger groups of animals, but guess what? They don't keep in a warehouse!
What would Dreg be doing in an animal warehouse?
Irma's an idiot. The Krang and Shredder scheme this week was to turn Shredder giant so he could King Kong through the city, but instead the ray hits Irma. Which means all she really has to do is wait around for the Turtles to find a way to fix it, so instead she trips around the city crashing into things, killing several people in the process.
Sorry?
Irma's an idiot. So after causing enough death and destruction to get the army after her, and even crying about the fact she'll never be normal again when given the cure by Donatello, here's what she does.
What do I do with this?
Swallow it.
Forget it. I can't swallow pills. When I was little, my mother gave me my medicine in a spoonful of ice cream.
Yes, Irma takes the chance of getting blown up and hurting more people over swallowing a pill. She makes them put the damn thing in ice cream. Irma's an idiot. The Rat King is just horribly incompetent. Sure, on a numerical scale, Shredder and Krang have had more failures, but that's just because they appeared more. But the Rat King could barely even succeed at the simplest of tasks. In this episode, he first fails to capture April when she's right in front of him, and then manages to get the only other two on the show easier to get. And he only manages to do this because of April's amazing heroism in the scene.
Screw you forever, Vernon and Irma! Hope you die!
So, minor success. Sorta. Now to actually do something with the pair.
What are you going to do to us?
Allow the fumes from this compound to turn you into mindless zombies. In exactly 10 minutes, you will be the first human beings to become slaves of the rats.
So the Rat King will at least have Vernon and Irma on his side for part of this episode, right? Ha ha! You underestimate the Rat King's incompetence.
Vernon!
He's a zombie.
Nah, he just saw one rat too many. Watch this.
Was that really necessary?
Not only did he not manage to turn Vernon and Irma, but his mind control compound he made was gonna be completely useless even if he succeeded in hitting the city with it, which of course he failed at because he's the Rat King. Okay, in the 87 Turtles cartoon, the level of wacky cartoon antics versus realism would kind of vary from episode to episode, but they usually didn't go flat out Looney Tunes. Usually.
Hey, this is what I call a tasty bite. Crank it up, dudes!
I think what I love the most about this happening is this was just a regular speed setting on the merry-go-round. I guess this ride never had a safety inspection, or the inspector just fucking hated kids. Mad Dog McMutt. Just Mad Dog McMutt. Get it? He's a dog gangster, so his face resembles a bulldog, and he's gonna take his stupid gimmick to the max. He wears a dog collar, eats dog treats, and probably takes shits in the park.
We think we found an important clue.
A dog crunchie?
There's only one criminal who eats these things, and that's Mad Dog McMutt.
Yeah, I'm not surprised he left behind an obvious clue when it wasn't even necessary to figure out it was him at all. He robbed this bank completely undisguised in front of the most incompetent people in the world, as his only weapon to aid him in this robbery was 2 bulldogs. I didn't know robbing a bank was so easy. Hey boy, you wanna come rob a bank with me? Haha! Do ya? No. Whatever. Well, after blatantly robbing the bank, the police hot on his trail, obviously he's keeping well hidden. Surprise! Another annoying character. Fuse together Pee Wee Herman, Mr. Mix-a-Pixlix, and you get this annoying shitter.
Who are you?
Og's the name. Mr. Og to you. Nice mask. I can see why you wear it. Take one more step, and you'll be sorry.
He's turned the Technodrome into a pumpkin.
1,000-year-old who you porcelain.
He spends the entire episode doing dumb shit with his powers and being obnoxious. That's about it. I hate you, Mr. Og. The big debut of Ray Fillet went off without a bang. This was definitely one of the funnier dumb moments from the show. Just Ray's whole attitude.
Oh my.
I think I'll name you Ray, after my second cousin on my mother's side.
You jiving me or what? That's the dumbest name I've ever heard.
I'd like you to plant subterranean explosives at strategic points in the Suez.
You're a real fruitcake, Pop. You know that?
Together we can make it possible for decent fish to walk the streets of this city.
Sure, why not? I got nothing better to do.
I just love how he gives not a single shit about what he's doing this whole episode.
Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah, swell.
Even when he loses, it's like, oh, I lost. Who gives a fuck? I sure don't. Oh well, I'm in the water now. I'll swim in a random direction.
Oh well, it's home.
What do you suppose happened to old Ray?
I have a feeling we haven't heard the last of him, Michelangelo.
If you think that, you don't know Ray at all, Leonardo. Yeah, they've definitely heard the last of me. I'll never be back. Apparently a giant Irma wasn't enough, so another day, another Turn You Giant Ray, made by someone else, but I think he was just ripping off Krang's Giant Ray, as this one works the exact same. Will turn some giant immediately, and others it takes a while to realize they've been hit with the silliness of a Giant Ray. Anyway, this episode ends with a giant Fatatello fighting King Kong. Yeah. Oh, 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 Fatatello. I really have nothing else to add to that. Shredder finds Excalibur, and it's magical.
Bow down to me, King Shredder the First.
You gotta be kidding.
Kidding. I, King Shredder, dubbed thee Sir Bebop and Sir Rocksteady.
Ah yes, being a Japanese ninja clan leader, obviously Shredder is very into medieval English customs.
The Turtles are right behind us, boss. Excalibur has the power to stop them. I will bring those stone lions to life.
By the power of Grayskull.
And this isn't even the silly moment yet. It's Merlin who saves the turtles. Merlin, who lives in a painting which he goes back into just to make a dramatic entrance, despite having already saved the turtles in the previous scene.
And now I can go back to sleep.
The wah-wah music, used only for the most graceful of exits. Bye, Merlin! Retcons are usually just so great, but it's even better when they're completely pointless. Michelangelo starts having nightmares because of repressed memories of a gecko being in the mutagen with them. This, of course, turns out to be Mondo Gecko. Mondo Gecko, having been in the original mutagen, just feels extremely tacked on and only serves as a bit of a setup for an extremely silly side switch.
And then this guy picked me up and took me to his hideout. Mr. X became my mentor and taught me everything about breaking the law.
See, all this time you thought you were bad, but Mr. X made you that way. It wasn't your fault.
It wasn't?
No way! We came from the same sewer. We're born to be best buds, not enemies.
Gee, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, the thought of not doing something I don't want to do never occurred to me. I'm that dumb. By that logic, Mondo Gecko could have just been like, hey, you don't have to be good. Splinter just made you that way. You're right, dude. Let's kill people. And balding Dracula Man wasn't interested in anything else, huh? Not the glowing mutagen or the turtles in it as well, just that gecko. I mean, after all, if it happens to mutate or something, it can be in his shitty little crime gang. He really thought ahead for the small picture. It's also quite a feat that Splinter never seen this guy when he was rushing over to the turtles. And what the shit was Gargamel's loser brother doing there anyway? Just wandering around the sewers going, oh, I sure hope I find a mutant gecko today. Then again, maybe Michelangelo's just remembering this all wrong. After all, the mutagen they were mutated from was purple. The Turtles' unstable mutations. Within the 9th season of the show, the Turtles' mutations have become unstable. If this had happened somewhere in the first few seasons, maybe, but 9 years later?
Oh man, this is whack. The guy's mutations have destabilized.
Was the instability in their mutations just on an extended vacation? Also, this was a plan for the 4th live-action Turtles film where they'd all have different mutations. However, the cartoon only used the one plan for Raph, which is actually the better call. It's just a shame it happened in Season 9, which also happened to be a rather sloppily animated season throughout, resulting in their new forms also looking pretty dopey. Well, that's not even the best part about those. Somehow, by the next episode, the mutations got even sillier.
We've gone into our 2nd stage mutations.
So remember how I said at least they used the Raph transformation from the Scrap movie since, it seemed like the most plausible? Well, that's damn sure out when Leo grows armor and Donatello grows a computer eye. They mutated metallic and computer parts? How did that happen? Magic? Shut up, Merlin!
But there's no way we can use our weapons.
Except you can. You're clearly still holding them. And you still used them last episode. Double mutants are stupid. By the 6th season, it really seemed like they're running out of different ways to have the Turtles stop the Technodrome, so obviously this means we get the best plan they ever launched against Krang and Shredder. Do nothing. Just as the Technodrome has surfaced again and is heading towards the city, the Turtles decide nothing is the best course of action. Or inaction, whatever.
How can we stop them?
We'll use woo-wee.
Woo-wee was the Splinter lesson of the episode, but is about turning someone's attack against them, not just doing nothing and hoping things turn out. And the only reason they get stopped here is Bebop and Rocksteady being idiots. Not exactly something new or anything that wouldn't have happened without the Turtles deciding to be lazy. So instead of Leonardo saying, we have to do something all the time, it should have been, we have to do nothing! Yeah! Excitement in a half shell, lazy power. So Bebop and Rocksteady were always pretty dumb, but as the series went on, it got to the point where you had to wonder why the hell Shredder and Krang even kept them around. And then they actually did try to get rid of them, but here's one of their crowning achievements of stupidity.
I consider that a vicious smear on our character.
Trying to eat a computer chip. You're not a cyborg, Bebop. And you gotta get some of the blame here too, Krang, cause he sees them dump these crackers right by his computer chip and just walks away. I'm sure Bebop and Rocksteady will just clean up their crackers by my computer chip. Good one, Krang. And of course he also fails to notice that they replace his chip with a Tiger Electronics game chip. And that not only makes Krang's body talk, but it makes it go on a rampage.
Enemy sighted. 3,000 bonus points. Zone cleared. Advance to next level.
These things are way more powerful than I thought. The Turtles never destroyed the Technodrome during the whole run of the '87 cartoon. They'd just get it stuck in another location, and it never stayed active above the surface more than 2 episodes in a row. It was stuck underground, Dimension X, further underground in lava, a floating island in Dimension X, the Arctic, the ocean, and then finally Dimension X again, just without them in it this time. The only place left for them to get stuck was the toilet.
Saki! Those blasted toilets!
The turtle van seriously becomes the Gadget Mobile. When the turtle van is about to have a head-on collision, Donatello pulls out the Deus Ex Vanshina.
Not if my hydraulic lifts have anything to say about it.
Go, go, Gadget Van Legs! Hey, it actually worked. The Phantom of the Sewers. Sounds like a brilliant idea already, right? What could possibly go wrong? Well, our shitty poop Phantom used to be a scientist, but decided to become the ripoff of Crapland when he got disfigured by some chemicals. So even after they've saved the day, he's ready to live the rest of his life in the sewers. But scared they'll have this jackass as a neighbor for the rest of the series, Donatello takes a chance on ultimate stupidity being the answer.
Just as I thought. It's paint.
What?
Didn't you ever try washing your face?
This guy was a scientist. Not only that, but this paint was something in his lab. And just because your face got disfigured, you figured you'd never wash it again?
My friend.
Yeah, just stay in the sewers there, buddy. I'm sure you smelled like them anyway.
How can I ever repay you?
Never show up again!
Flem, what are you doing?
I have discovered a new method to create a most lifelike wax figure. Miss O'Neill is going to be my first test subject.
Really? 'Cause it seems like you made pretty lifelike ones before this, but hey, why not go from making wax figures to being lazy about it and murdering people? Wouldn't be the first time. But you might want to work on your lowering device there, Vincent Rice, as it goes fast, then stops, then keeps lowering April to just above the wax over and over. It even changes the way she's tied to it instead of actually lowering her. And instead of turtle waxing, he freezes them with gas. Because of course he has an alternate instant way of turning people into statues, but is still gonna slowly lower April into wax. So he freezes them, puts them on display, Irma's time to break in and then counter the gas with her amazing technique.
Snap out of it!
Stop shaking me!
Then they even have time to fight his Terminator robots he naturally had under his wax figures because someone into wax sculpting would obviously also be a genius at robotics. But I guess he wasn't proud of his robotic genius since he hid them under wax. So the turtles go through all that, do a bunch of things, go get groceries, come back, and then April is still not yet lowered into the wax. Seriously, it was lowering her that whole time. This guy can build completely realistic wax figures and freaking robots, but not a pulley to lower someone into wax. And that's only 40 to 21. We still got the top 20 moments of stupidity from the show to go. You betrayed me, turtles! Ah! I need my nostalgia goggles! Okay, much better.
Now, this was my biggest story.
Bulldozers stolen from tractors are us? Fascinating.